I wanted to ask about Yemen, and this is
Sure.
in light of a report that Amnesty International released on Monday.
Okay.
You've repeatedly called on all sides in that conflict to take proactive steps to protect civilians, correct?
Correct.
So should one of those steps by the Saudi-led coalition be to stop using U.S. and UK-produced cluster bombs?
Well, look, what we've talked about, and we do believe that, the Yemen, there is a UN-led process now, peace talks that are being hosted in Kuwait, and we are strongly encouraging those talks to continue. We do want to see the cessation of hostilities there deepened and strengthened and to be maintained because we've seen far too much violence in Yemen, not only violence targeting civilians, but also humanitarian crisis that has exacerbated. Let me finish. In terms of what you're talking about, which is the use of weaponry or cluster bombs, look, I'd have to refer you to the Saudis to speak to the types of strikes that they did carry out in Yemen. And let's remember that they were responding to a threat by the Houthis in Yemen against their own security. But I think overall what we want to see is an end to the violence and a peaceful process, or peaceful political process that ends the fighting altogether and allows humanitarian assistance to get to those who need it.
Sure. But in the meantime, you've called on all the sides to take steps. So, in your human rights report last year on Saudi Arabia, you acknowledged 7 ground-fired rocket attacks into Yemen. And according to the research you cite from Human Rights Watch, all 7 of those attacks involved U.S.-produced cluster bombs. So you've already addressed this. Should Saudi Arabia have a policy of not using those internationally banned weapons in the meantime until peace is achieved?
Well, again, what we always do in terms of that kind of weapons use, and when there's credible allegations or reports of their use or their misuse, we do take those up with the Saudi government. But I don't have any more for you on that.